topic in reproductive biology, reproductive health. Today we will discuss two important topics. The first topic is contraception. The second topic, infertility. Every year in MSET, normally one person is expected from this in reproductive health. Okay. So first we discuss contraception. What is contraception? And the opposite word is conception. So contraception is prevention of pregnancy, prevention of pregnancy after intercourse, after copulation or intercourse. That means intercourse normally takes place, but pregnancy is prevented. So the prevention of pregnancy after intercourse is called contraception. The opposite word is conception. That is the formation of pregnancy, the occurrence of pregnancy after copulation or coitus. So two important terms. Contraception, that is prevention of pregnancy, preventing of pregnancy after intercourse, not after fertilization. Conception means the occurrence of pregnancy after intercourse. Here fertilization is prevented. Here in the second concept, fertilization is allowed. 2 points. Next one. What are the contraceptive methods? Contraceptive methods. The important outcome of contraceptive methods is to control the population. To control the population growth. So to control the population growth or birth control, contraceptive methods are employed in a marriage couples, so that the birth of the child can be prevented. So what are the contraceptive methods? One, natural methods or traditional methods. Contraceptive methods. So the first type is natural methods or traditional measures. First one. In natural method, the first type is periodic abstinence. Periodic abstinence. In menstrual cycle, it is completed for every 28. So the period of menstrual cycle is 28 days. We explained in the previous class. in these 28 days, 10 to 17th days of fertilization, menstrual cycle, 10 to 17th day, from 10th day to 17th day of the menstrual cycle is favorable for fertilization. So the favorable period of menstrual cycle for fertilization is 10 to 17 days object. So from 10th day of menstruation to 7th day of menstruation period, if intercourse takes place, there is every possibility for fertilization and getting conception. So the marriage couples, if they want to postpone the pregnancy, they have to avoid intercourse or coitus from 10th day to 7th day of the menstrual cycle. That is, by that, their possibility of fertilization is very, very less. So that is one point. Second one. Coitus interruptus. Coitus interruptus. That is, during intercourse, in the last phase of the intercourse, orgasm takes place. Suppose between male and female intercourse is being done. At the last stage of the coitus or copulation or intercourse, orgasm, a particular psychological climax condition arrives. By that time, ejaculation occurs from the penis. The semen is discharged into the vagina. What happens during orgasm of the intercourse means the male partner releases the semen or seminal fluid into the vagina. At that time, before the occurrence of orgasm, if the male partner withdraws his penis from the vagina, the semen is not released into the vagina. That is what is called coitus interruptus. By that safely, we can prevent pregnancy. So that is second prediction method, which is naturally not possible in intercourse. No male partner wishes to withdraw his penis from the vagina at the last stage, at the occurrence of orgasm. Otherwise, it is very easy to control the birth rate in India. So third one is lactational amenorrhea. Lactational amenorrhea, that means after parturition, mother starts secreting milk. That is what is called lactation. So if breastfeeding is continuous, the ovulation does not occur in the mother. Important. So after parturition, the child continues to take the breast milk from the mother. That is, lactation is continued for months. So if lactation continues, ovulation or menstrual cycle cannot set in the female. By that, when ovulation does not set in, when menstruation does not happen in the mother, fertilization does not take place. Pregnancy does not occur, even though intercourse takes place between mother and the father after parturition. But this mechanism is lasted only for, is advisable for 6 months after parturition. So lactational amenorrhea is a natural method preventing the pregnancy for 6 months after parturition. For 6 months, if mother continues to give breast milk to the growing infant, ovulation does not take place inside. Menstrual cycle does not set in again. By that, pregnancy can be prevented. These are the 3 methods, natural methods or traditional methods to control the birth control, or contraceptive method, natural or traditional method of contraception. Second, what? Okay. Next type of contraceptive next method of contraception. Second method. Second method of contraception. Barrier method. So we create barriers between sperm and ovum and preventing the union. So we prevent the fertilization by creating barriers in the reproductive tract of male and female. That method is called barrier method. In that first method is condom. Familiar name of condom introduced by government in 1974. It is useful for both male and female. Condoms are available for both male and female. They are made up of rubber or latex, and they are disposable, not reusable. Condoms are disposable or non-reusable. Disposable or non-reusable. Condoms can be used by both male parents, male partner, or female partner. That is condom. Next, barriers used in females. Barriers used in females. 1. Diaphragms. Next, cervical caps. 3rd, warts. These are the 3 types of barriers used in females, not in males. These are reusable. So, non-reusable barrier is condom. Reusable barrier contraceptives are diaphragm, cervical caps, and warts. Right on. Diaphragm, cervical caps, and warts. They are inserted in the vagina by an expert legal practitioner, medical practitioner, or a nurse, expert nurse. They are introduced in the vagina, and the cervix is covered by diaphragm or by cervical cap or by warts. They prevent the entry of sperms into the vessel, into the uterus through cervix. So they block the cervical, the opening. The cervix opening is blocked by this diaphragm or cervical cap or wart. So that the sperms which are released into the vagina during intercourse cannot enter into the uterine cavity because the cervix is covered by diaphragm or by cervical cap or by wart. This is another method of contraception, barrier methods. And for these diaphragm, cervical caps or warts, you see, spermicidal jellies are applied. Spermicidal jellies are applied to these barriers. By that, sperms are being killed when they reach these barriers. Spermicidal jellies are also applied along with these barriers. These are all reusable. Nirod is non-reusable barrier method of contraception. Or condom is the natural barrier method which is not reusable. And condoms are used by both males and females. But diaphragms and cervical caps and warts, they are used only in males for prevention of conception or as a contraceptive method. Third type, first natural methods, second barrier methods, third one intrauterine devices. Intrauterine devices. Intrauterine devices. These are the third type of barriers used to prevent the pregnancy. Next one. These intrauterine devices are normally placed in the uterus of the female partner. That's why they are called intrauterine devices. They should be placed in the uterus of the female by expert medical practitioners. Only by expert medical practitioners, these devices can be placed in the uterus to prevent the pregnancy. Suppose if any adverse effects occur in the woman, automatically these devices can be taken back, can be removed from the uterus cavity. That is the advantage. What are these intrauterine devices? One, non-medical IUC, non-medical IUD, non-medical IUD. Example, here also already. Every student should write all these examples. Most important. We do an set of points. Non-medical IUD. Example, Lippy's loop. It is double S shape. Double S shape. Double S shape. That is the shape of Lippy's loop non-medicated intrauterine device. It is made up of polyethylene plastic. This is made up of polyethylene plastic, non-medicated intrauterine device. Next, medicated intrauterine devices. Medicated intrauterine devices. Medicated intrauterine devices. Here, examples. CUT, CU7, multi-node 375. These three examples are given in NCERT. Here, a copper wire is twisted around the loop. Copper wire is used in these medicated loops. So copper, CuT, because it is T-shaped and is surrounded by copper wire. The vertical limb of T-shaped intrauterine device is surrounded by copper. This is CuT. If you take second one, the vertical limb is covered by copper wire. 7 shape. That's why it is called CU7. CU7. Third medicated intrauterine device is, and one shape. This is multi-node 375. Multi-node 375. Why it is called multi-node 375? It is anchor shape. Yeah, multi. Here, the entire copper wire is about 375 square millimeters. 375 square millimeters of copper is used in this device. That's why it is called multi-load 375, because here the copper wire that is used in this device is about 375 square millimeters. That's why it is called multi-load 375. What are the medicated intrauterine devices? CUP, CU7, to draw these diagrams, and multi-load 375. You barely is 7 shape. 375, multi-load 375 means the entire copper of the device is about 375 square millimeters. Okay, the entire length of the copper wire that is present around the vertical limb of the intrauterine device. And this copper wire releases copper ions into the plate cavity. The copper wire releases copper ions into the uterine cavity. These copper ions, they destroy the spermatozoa, makes the uterus non-susceptible for implantation. So, third one, prevent the spermatozoa to enter, and even spermatozoa enter, they will be killed by the copper ions and make the uterus non-susceptible for implantation of it. So, these are the 3 devices, and most important, in India, widely used method of important point. In India, widely used method of contraception. Widely in India, widely used method of contraception, IUDs. Intrauterine devices are the widely used contraceptive methods in India. This is right. So we have completed natural methods, barrier methods, and intrauterine devices. And third one, hormonal IUDs. This is what I call third type: non-medicated, medicated, and hormonal intrauterine devices. Important. Here, these devices, they release progesterone. They release progesterone into the uterine cavity. These are called hormone-releasing intrauterine devices. Important one. First one, progesterone, LNG20. These are the 2 types of hormonal IUDs. Progesterone. Second, LMG, MSET lecture. LMG, Lebanon gel, Lebanon store. Lebanon gestore is the hormone releasing intrauterine device. So progesterone, LNG20. LNG expansion is Lebanon gestrol, gestrel, LEBONORGESTREL. This is 20. In abbreviation, LNG20. In abbreviation, it is called LNG20. Lebanon gestrel, progesterone, and Lebanon gestrel, LEBONORGESTREL, or LNG20. Why it is called 20 is every day Lebanon gestrol intrauterine device releases 20 micrograms of Lebanon gestrol hormone. Lebanon, a synthetic hormone. Lebanon is a synthetic hormone. Lebanon gestrel is a synthetic female hormone, works like progesterone. Synthetic means it is artificially prepared. So every day this intrauterine hormonal device LNG releases Lebanon gestrel about 20 micrograms, not milligrams, micrograms of or gestalt into uterine cavity. These hormones prevent the entry of sperms or kill the sperms in the uterine cavity and prevent fertilization. These two are hormonal intrauterine devices. Important. Next one. Contraceptive pills. Contraceptive pills. The synthetic hormones progestogen, estrogen are used in the form of oral pills to prevent pregnancy. So oral contraceptive pills, which are prepared from synthetic female hormone, which are progestogen, not progesterone. Progesterone is the natural female sex hormone. Progestogen is a synthetic female sex hormone, and second one is estrogen. So either progestogen or combination with estrogen can be used as oral pills to prevent pregnancy. These are contraceptive pills. These contraceptive pills, important one. There in these pills, progestogen, a synthetic progesterone, estrogen are used in individual or communication to prevent pregnancy. And these tablets, these pills, oral pills are administered from 7th day to 21st day. So important one. They are used only for 21 days in the menstrual cycle. Listen carefully. For first 7 days, menses takes place. So at that time, fertilization does not take place. There is no chance of releasing it. From 7th day of menstruation up to 28th day, every day in menstrual cycle, one pill must be administered by the females. So continuously from 7th day to 28th day, for 21 days, these contraceptive pills must be administered by the female partner. So that is important. From 7th day of menstrual cycle up to the last, again giving a gap of 7 days, again from 8th day to 28th day, these pills can be administered. By that, the pregnancy can be prevented. And Central Drug Research Institute, Central Drug Research Institute, located in Lucknow. Important one. Everybody should take cognizance of this point. Everybody should take cognizance of this point and expected to say. In India, the Central Drug Research Institute, located in Lucknow, they prepared a non-steroid contraceptive pill. They prepared an important non-steroid pill, contraceptive pill, by name Saheli. So the Central Drug Research Institute, located in Lucknow in India, they have prepared a non-steroid contraceptive pill by name Saheli, Saheli, Saheli. It is called once a week pill. This pill cannot be taken continuously. One pill in 1 week is enough to prevent pregnancy. A breakthrough in contraceptive method, a research work, and a specific and most effective drug, non-harmful drug, is prepared by our Indian scientists. Central Drug Research Institute in Lucknow prepared a non-steroid contraceptive pill by name Saheli, Saheli. It is a non-steroid contraceptive pill. Other pills are, steroid pills, because they are prepared either from synthetic progesterone or synthetic estrogen. which have adverse effect in the body of a female. In the body of a female. What are the adverse effects of these contraceptive pills? Next, we will discuss them. After intrauterine or contraceptive pills, injectables, implants are also employed in contraception. So, injectables, little quantities of hormones are injected into the body. Then we can prevent the pregnancy. Implants below the skin. You see, implants are administered. By that, continuously they go on releasing progesterone into the blood. By that, it prevents the pregnancy. So, besides contraceptive pills, the hormone-based other techniques which are employed to prevent the pregnancy are implants and injectables. And finally, the first we have discussed natural methods, barrier measures, intrauterine devices, contraceptive pills, injectables, and implants. Finally, the terminal method of contraception. Terminal method of contraception. Sterilization. Terminal. When once sterilization occurs, there is no chance to revive it. But recent techniques are also trying to revive the surgeries, but the chances of success are very, very less. Right. Sterilization. Sterilization surgery in males is what is called